Hello. Sorry, I just wanted to adjust my camera a little bit. I'm Miss Carla. We're starting a new book today because yesterday we finished Read-Aloud by Angela Cervantes, which was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. If you are seeing this video and have not joined us in reading any of the other books so far, go ahead and check out the playlists on the PCL YouTube channel, and you'll see one for Read-Aloud, and you'll see one for the first book we read, which was Love, Sugar, Magic, A Dash of Trouble. And then this video will go into a new playlist, which is going to be called Sarai Saves the Music, because that's the book we're reading now. It's called Sarai Saves the Music, and it's by Sarai Gonzalez and Monica Brown. And I want to thank Scholastic for allowing this read aloud. Now, have you ever read a book, particularly a chapter book that has two authors? A lot of times when two people are listed on a picture book, one of them is the author and one is the illustrator. In this case, there are two authors. One of them is Sarai Gonzalez, and that's her right there. She's a kid. And this book and the character Sarai in the story is based off of her and her experiences. And it says, I'm going to read this to you because I think it's very interesting. Sarai Gonzalez became an overnight sensation after appearing in Bomba Estereo's Soy Yo, a music video about embracing yourself and loving your flaws. The video garnered over 50 million views, and the New York Times called Sarai a Latina icon. The Sarai series are chapter books inspired by her life. She lives in New Jersey with her family. The other author is Monica Brown. And Monica Brown is an established author who's written books for a lot of books for kids, including a series about Lola Levine, a book called Marisol McDonald Doesn't Match, Frida Kahlo and Her Animalitos, and Waiting for the Biblioburo. Now, the reason there are two authors is often when you have someone who wants to write a book but is not a professional author, who might have something they want to share, a story they want to tell, but they don't have a lot of experience writing, or they are not used to writing in a certain way, they will ask an established author or a professional, someone who's already good at writing, to help them put their story together and make it really good. So adults do this too. It's not necessarily because Sarai Gonzalez is a kid, but more so because she's a social media person more than she is an author. So she got Monica Brown, who has written lots of books, to help her write the story, and they worked on it together. And I think that's really cool. So this book is another... Charlie really is wanting attention right now. This book is the third book that we're reading that is a nominee for the 2020 Rhode Island Latino Books Month award, and it's in grades 3 through 5. So if you listen to the entire reading of this book, and you listen to Read-Aloud and Love, Sugar, Magic, then you will have read 3 books in the category grades 3 through 5. And if you're under the age of 18 or under, you'll be able to vote on our website, and not our website, not the library's website, but on the Rhode Island Latino Books Month website. And I put the link for that in the description of this video. So take a look if you want to check out the book award website. It also shows you the nominees in all the other grade categories and all of the rest of the books. There are 3 other books in grades 3 through 5, but I don't have access to those right now since the library buildings are closed and we can't request them. I had only happened to already have access to these 3. So reading these 3 is enough because you have to read at least 3 in order to vote. But if you have a way to get access to the other books, and if I find, I'll check and see if they're available for download. You can almost always get them on Amazon, but that costs money. So if you're looking for a way to borrow them, we can see if the library has them available for download, an ebook or audiobook, which would be really cool. But 2 of them are graphic novels, so I'm not sure. I'll have to check. Anyway, once we finish this book, which will take us probably not too many days because this is the shortest of the books that we're reading in this award category, then I don't have a plan for what book we'll read next. I do have a lot of books at home. I just don't have the other ones in the award nomination categories. So I have the comments open on my videos now. So if you have a certain kind of book you're interested in, if you want to try a different grade level, because I'd be interested in reading books for older kids or younger kids. If there's a certain author you like, mention it in the comments and I will see if I have anything that works. Okay? Because I want to keep reading, even if we finish reading the books in the Latino Books Month categories. They don't have to be Latino Books Month books because we're running out for this grade level. So anyway, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions or ideas about what we could read next. And I'll browse my bookshelves and see if anything comes to mind. I do need to say that the Rhode Island Latino Books Month is a project of Rhode Island Latino Arts. And we want to thank the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts, the Providence Department of Art, Culture, and Tourism, and the Rhode Island Foundation for their support to RILA and the arts community. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Now, this book has some cool illustrations in it. And I actually don't know, does it say on here who did the illustrations? Illustrations by Christine Almeida. And her name is not on the cover like you would often see on a picture book. So I'll make sure and show you the illustrations when we get to them, because there's illustrations on most of the pages. Look, even the table of contents has cute pictures on it. The book is called Sarai Saves the Music, and on the cover, she's playing an instrument, and so are the other kids. So I think we'll hear a little bit about what those instruments are. But this book clearly has something to do with music because here are some more instruments and music notes. Before chapter 1, we start off with an introduction called Rise and Sparkle. Good morning, world. It's going to be an awesome day, I say, but not too loud. The rest of my family is asleep. I look through my closet, and it's all glitter and sequins and sparkles. Not that, I think, as I take out my favorite jean jacket. More sparkles! I put on my sparkle tights, denim skirt, and a white t-shirt that has a glittery cupcake on it. I've always liked sparkly things, but ever since I discovered Stephanie Sparkles Sanchez, I love them. Sparkles Sanchez is a singer, dancer, and entertainer, and when I grow up, I want to be just like her. She's Latina like me, and she's from the Bronx, which isn't that far from here. She sings the best songs ever, all about girl power and glitter. Her songs have names like You Are a Shooting Star, Glitter and Gleam, and Shimmer and Shake. They always make me feel like dancing, and dancing makes me happy. My cousin Juju and I are part of the Playful Primas, a dance group, and I'm into music too. I'm also part of the super awesome Sister Cousin Fun Club, which I started myself. I like the feeling that comes from belonging to things. Oh, there's the cupcake shirt she mentioned. I'm a member of the school band at Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary, and Miss Cruz says I have lots of potential. I play the snare drum. I love the sound the drum makes when I tap my drumsticks. It reminds me of the heels of a flamenco dancer and lightning cracks and movie music and marches. When I use my special brush on the drum, it's quieter, but it makes it seem like something exciting is about to happen. I wonder what exciting thing is going to happen today. This is chapter 1, Feel the Music. So this, if you didn't know, is what a snare drum looks like. And that is the instrument that Sarai plays. Do you know any of the other instruments on this page? That's a trumpet. I actually demonstrated a trumpet briefly last week during my kindergarten through second grade story time. These are maracas. They're used in a lot of percussion sections in band, but you might know them if you've ever been to Mexico. I've seen them in Mexico. I don't know if other Latino countries use them. This is a saxophone. I think that's a flute. And then we have some sheet music. Ooh, and a triangle. It's shaped like a triangle, but that's also the name of the instrument. My sister Lucia and I take the bus to school, and as soon as we get on, she's immediately surrounded by kids. "What's up, Lucia?" someone says. "How are you, Lulu?" someone else jokes, using Lucia's nickname. "I am so fabulous," Lulu says, smiling. "It's going to be a fun day." Everyone loves Lucia, and she has lots of friends. I have plenty of people who love me, but most of them aren't at Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary. Luckily, a few are, like my favorite librarian, Miss Milligan, my band teacher, Miss Cruz, and my new best friend, Christina. I have an old best friend, Isa Lopez, but she moved to Washington, D.C. last month. I was really sad at first, but then I met Christina McKay, and I felt a whole lot better. Christina is quiet and spends a lot of time writing in her journal, but she's really fun too. Isa and I are now best pen pal friends. It's fun having a pen pal. It's kind of like writing in a diary, except you know someone's going to read it. "Hi, Christina," I say when she gets on the bus. She's easy to find, even though she usually wears dark clothes. I just look for curly, bright red hair, and there she is. "How's it going?" "Good," Christina says. "I finished 2 whole chapters last night." "Congratulations," I say, smiling. "What were they about?" Christina is writing an epic adventure called The Unicorn Tales about magical kingdoms and fantasy places. She wants to be a writer when she grows up. Christina explained to me that an epic story is an especially long one that stars a hero, or in the case of her story, a heroine. I like the idea of a special girl saving the day. Christina plays the triangle in our band, which is perfect for her because she's really precise and has a delicate touch. I like to bang things. Once, Valeria teased Christina, saying, "You got the easy one." Valeria thinks she's extra special just because she plays the flute. "The triangle's not even a real instrument," she told Christina. But unfortunately for Valeria, Miss Cruz overheard. "The triangle is a beautiful and complex instrument," Miss Cruz explained. "It's used in classical music, folk music, and even rock music. Mozart, Liszt, and Beethoven used it, and we will too." Valeria was quiet after that, which was nice. I don't know why she likes to tease me and whoever I'm friends with, but Christina has a few ideas. "She's just jealous of you," she told me one day, after Valeria rolled her eyes at something I said. "Jealous?" I said. "Why?" Because you're so smart and because you're you, Christina said, smiling. It's nice to have a friend like Christina. Miss Cruz mentioned Mozart and Liszt and Beethoven, I think. Yep, Mozart, Liszt, and Beethoven. So I think these two old-looking dudes are supposed to be a couple of those guys. I couldn't tell you who's who, though. We have music class after lunch 3 times a week. The other 2 days, we go to the library. While we wait for class to start, it's usually pretty loud because it takes a little bit of time to settle down after recess. We are supposed to warm up, but we also play around, talk, and have fun. Augie is the lead percussionist, and he has a whole drum kit with lots of different drums. I'm on the snare drum, along with a couple of others, and a girl named Ellie plays the bass drum. I like watching Ellie because she sort of dances when she plays. Christina is with our group because the triangle is in the percussion family too. Valeria and her best friend Kayla are in the woodwind section with the flutes and clarinets. Ooh. That's the bass drum. There's the whole drum kit. Oh, I think this is... Yeah, that's Christina. So she's playing the triangle, but I don't know where it is. She must have it on her stand behind her music stand. Our school starts beginning band in 3rd grade. This is our 2nd year as a class, which means we get to participate in the school concert for the first time. As soon as Miss Cruz walks in, we settle down fast. She's a little intimidating, but she inspires us too. We always start by practicing scales, but once we are working on songs, she says things like, "Feel the music," and "Music is a universal language." She also has a bunch of shirts with funny pictures and sayings. One says "Band Geek," and another has a picture of a cat playing the drums. Most teachers don't wear t-shirts, but I think that Miss Cruz gets to do whatever she wants because she once said, "I'm a creative." "How can you be a creative?" I asked her. "You are creative, not a creative," I said, remembering my grammar lessons. "I tend to get creative with grammar, that's why," Miss Cruz laughed. "Then I want to be a creative too," I said. "I sing and dance and play the drums. And Christina writes. That's really creative." "We're all creatives," Miss Cruz said. "Now let's make some music." That was one of the best music classes ever. Today, Miss Cruz wants to get down to business. "Attention students," Miss Cruz says. "We need to really focus today because our big performance is in 2 weeks. Your 2 main songs are sounding so good that I have a surprise for you." "I love surprises," I say. "So do I, which is why I didn't tell you about this before," says Miss Cruz. "I think we have time to work on one more song for the show. How would you feel about a contemporary pop song?" she asks. The whole class cheers. "What song?" asks Augie. "I have some ideas," says Kayla. "Me too," I say. Since we want our concert to be spectacular, I figured we needed some spectacular sparks. With that in mind, I've chosen a song I hope you'll like. Miss Cruz says, looking around the room, smiling. We're going to perform "Glitter and Gleam" by Sparkles Sanchez. Yay, the class cheers. For once, we all agree on something. Sparkles Sanchez is the most awesome singer ever, and now I'm going to learn to play one of her songs, and not just any song, her #1 hit. Percussionists, I'm going to rely on you for leadership because this is a drum-heavy piece. In fact, there are 2 drum solos, which I'll assign later on. For now, let's learn this new piece of music, Miss Cruz says as she passes around some sheet music. I'm so excited that I accidentally knock over my music stand. I hear Valeria and Kayla snicker, but I don't even care. I'm going to learn a Sparkle Sanchez song. Chapter 2, Garage Chat. I don't have a snare drum to practice on at home, but I do have a drum pad, and I practice as often as I can, especially when I have time, like today. I love Saturdays. It's the one day of the week that our family has nothing official planned, and we can just have fun together. I really hope that Miss Cruz chooses me for the drum solo. I imagine myself up on stage with a spotlight shining on my hair. It's extra shiny because I've sprayed it with glitter sparkles. Sarai, Lucia says, you're daydreaming again. Josie and I want to have a meeting of the Super Awesome Sister Cousin Fun Club. Are you in? Let's invite the Jays, Josie signs. The Jays are our cousins Juju, who is my age, and the twins Javier and Jade, who are younger. Ever since they moved in a couple blocks away, we've gotten to see them more often, and we already saw them a lot. That's a great idea, Josie, I signed back to her. Mom, can we see the Jays? I'll call your Tia Sophia and ask if the kids can come over, Mom says. The Jays live in a big house with my tata, my Mama Rosi, and my Tio Miguel. That sounds awesome, I say. And pretty soon I hear Mom talking on the phone to her sister, my Tia Sophia. Then I hear her talking to her mom, my Mama Rosi. Change of plans, she says when she hangs up. We are all invited over to the Jay's house this afternoon, and Tia Sophia made me promise that we'd stay for dinner. She and Mama Rosi are making ceviche. Yum, Josie signs. I love ceviche. I love it too. It's white fish in lime juice. It has red onions and cilantro, and we usually eat it with sweet potatoes and corn. Family fiesta, Lucia says. Let's party. We walk the short distance to the Jay's house, passing the Martinez and Sons Market on the corner. Do you know what it means when she says that her cousin or her sister Josie signs? You've probably seen it on TV if you don't know anyone who already speaks in sign language. But signing is a way of communicating with your hands when you can't speak or if you can't hear or are hard of hearing. And you can make signs. A lot of people know this one. I love you. Or thank you. And you can spell things out. A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't know a lot of sign language, but I know the alphabet and a few words. So Josie, for some reason, speaks in sign language and her family speaks back with her. So that's what that means. Okay. Moving on. Let's stop so I can pick up some avocados, Mom says. Mr. Martinez is sweeping the sidewalk in front of the store. Buenas tardes, he says. Good afternoon, Senor Martinez, I say. We talk for a little bit. Mom picks up a few things, and then we are on our way. Down the block, we walk past Senora Sanchez, who is out tending her flowers. Your flowers are the prettiest in the neighborhood, Senora Sanchez, I say. Well, let me cut you some, sweetie, she says. You must be on your way to your grandmother's house. You can bring her some flowers. I thank her with a hug and promise to bring by some cupcakes the next time I make them, because everyone knows that Senora Sanchez has a sweet tooth. When we finally get to my grandparents' house, I ring the doorbell, even though I know I can just walk in if I want to. Mama Rosi answers the door at her house, and I say, "Surprise!" and hand her the beautiful bouquet of flowers. These are from Senora Sanchez. "She is the loveliest woman," Mama Rosi says, taking the flowers and putting them in a vase. "They smell wonderful. I'm going to invite Senora Sanchez over to lunch next week." Javier and Jade run down the stairs, jumping the last two, and Juju comes out of her room and gives me a hug. Juju is one of my best friends. "Happy Saturday," she says. "I'm so glad you are here." Lucia, one of the co-presidents of the Super Awesome Sister Cousin Fun Club, decides to call the meeting to order. "Let's start the meeting," she says. The Jays have a big picnic table that can fit all of us at once. When we are all sitting, Tata brings out a picture of chincha morada and some cups. "Yum," I say. I love the Peruvian drink made with purple corn, sugar, spices, and pineapple. That sounds good. "Any new business?" Juju asks. "Yes," I say, raising my hand. Josie points to me. She's a co-president of the Super Awesome Sister Cousin Fun Club, too. Actually, every member is a co-president because that's the only way we could agree to have the club in the first place. I look at my sisters and cousins. "I need a super awesome brainstorming session." "Okay," Juju says. "What about?" "Well, my baking career is really taking off with Sarai's sweets. But if I'm going to be a singer, dancer, talk show host, and entertainer like Sparkle Sanchez, I need to get going." See what they're doing here? They're having a brainstorm. Get it? Brainstorm? So I've decided on a new project called Sarai's Garage Chat. "But garages don't talk," Javier says. "Of course not," I say, "but I do. And the only space I have for my TV studio is the garage. Dad said he'd move the car on filming days. I'm going to put my desk and a few chairs there and interview people. Tata is going to tape the episodes on his phone." "So what do you need our help for?" Lucia asks. "The club is about all of us, not just you." "I want to interview each of you," I say. "I thought I could start with Javier and Jade and ask what it's like to be twins." "But I don't know what it's like to not be a twin, so how can I know what's different about being a twin?" Jade asks. "Why don't you interview me?" Lucia says. "On what subject?" I ask. "We could talk about how fabulous I am," Lucia says, laughing. I say. "The playful primas can perform," Juju says. "But how can I interview myself?" I say. "Maybe you can dance a solo, Juju." "But one prima alone isn't exactly playful," she says. "Let me think about it." "Any more discussion?" Josie signs. "I think you need to do a little more research if you're going to film a talk show," Juju advises. "You need a theme for the show, a theme for each show." Did you know that primas is cousins in Spanish? So playful primas is playful cousins because they're cousins who dance together. "You mean like a main idea," I say, thinking of my reading lessons at school. "Yes," Juju says. "Next order of business," Juju signs and says. "What do you want to do today?" "Let's convince our parents to let us have a sleepover," Lucia says, and we all agree. That's the end of that chapter, and I think that's a good place to stop. I talked quite a bit at the beginning, so we've already been reading. I've already been recording for 30 minutes. So we'll start tomorrow with chapter 3, which is called Bad News. And we'll start that tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Have a good day.